and welcome back to episode 9 of Strix's point of view on the Content Engineers server. I've been doing a lot of building. I don't think the outside of this wall is ready to show yet, and there's nothing over there. But this is the new station entrance, and the inside of it, though bare, is done otherwise. I do need to figure out how I'm going to furnish this room. This airlock is set up for basic use. It works for one person. Walk in, close the door, push the button, walk out, same as my typical airlocks. So I'm wanting to do more functionality on it. I just haven't gotten there yet. It took me a little while to figure out, but I do have a proper airlock setup going into the asteroid from here. And that takes about 10 seconds to cycle. Or not about, it takes 10 seconds to cycle. And that'll open up. I can run in here, push this button. I was caught on the wrong side of the airlock, but I have a button to solve that, so we're all good. Might help if I remember to put my helmet back on, because coming in here, there's still no oxygen inside the asteroid, nor will there be. This is my soon-to-be expansion for my processing, which is 5 Mark V refineries, each with 4 Mark V effectiveness or yield modules, all from the Moore blocks, and 5 of the Mark V assemblers with each 4 Mark V speed modules. So yeah, and I've got all the piping at least run for that, if not all built up. It's all run. It might take me a while to build this up. I need a lot more resources for that. Those are expensive blocks. Over here I have a cargo expansion going to be going on with a total of 6 Mark V large cargo containers. The Mark IIIs that I'm using currently hold 1.6 million liters of cargo apiece. So I'm curious to see what those hold. Once this processing down here is online, I'm actually going to take all of this offline over here. And I'm actually going to rebuild these Mark IV assemblers in the back over here somewhere, just working on making ammo constantly with one of the other mods that we have, production quota. I'm going to figure out how to use that. These batteries are fine. These cargo are fine. I'm probably going to replace the refineries here with a couple more of these same Mark III cargo containers. You know, there's what I'm planning on the inside, but that's all waiting for resources. I don't think I showed my little apartment yet, and coming from all this gray, I have to warn you, my apartment is colorful. And that's the best I can say about it. This is also just a basic airlock, but it's just for my use, so it is for one person. And here we go. Very colorful little apartment. I still need to finish furnishing this as well. But I've got my cryo. It's pressurized in here so I can breathe. I like the lighting. I like the crazy disco look. Yeah. That's where I keep logging out at. Unless I'm logging out on the planet or in my Explorer or in another ship that'll be shown off in a video soon, because we're doing something really cool down on the planet, which is why I'm hanging out nearby over here at the asteroid station. But yeah, this is just a bunch of what I've been doing inside. I also decided to work on the shipyard. You also notice there's no safe zone on anymore. I have 2/3 of my guns almost online. I still need to do the bottom sections here, which I left undone so that I can show you guys what's underneath these towers. As far as what's on top of these towers, a grand total of 4 Gatling cannons, an assault cannon turret, and an artillery cannon turret. The other side, the station, doesn't have the assault cannon turret, but it does have an artillery turret and 6 GATs. So my base is pretty well protected now, and there's going to be another 4 Gatling cannons, an assault cannon, and an artillery cannon underneath here as well. I put in the shipyard welders, which are all aimed out here in the shipyard lane, which I kind of built off of just looking at a few different shipyard pictures on Google. The one that stuck out to me is, of course, the Alabama shipyard in Mobile, because I was born in Alabama and raised there. Just very simple design. I don't know why I was starting to go back in. But yeah, you've got the button right here to turn on the shipyard welders, and a button to turn on the projector, which right now the projector is storing another big project I need to work on. Give it a second. I'm getting ready to print out the lip screw. And even as big as this shipyard feels like it is in this asteroid base, as soon as I put in this projector and was reminded how big this ship is, my goodness. And that's all vanilla parts in there. That's still the vanilla build. So I'll still have to go through and mod it up if I want to do any modding with it. I think for a while, though, I'm just going to fly around with the vanilla blocks and do a few routes vanilla style and see how I like it that way before I start putting mod blocks on it. But to get that up and running, I need all of my new processing in the asteroid base. And to get all of that processing done, I need something that's going to be able to get me a lot more materials very quickly and be cheaper to build than either of those options. Something kind of like my termite here, but in large grid. But then again, if you watch my Mars survival series, maybe something like my Everyman ship, but made for space and in large grid. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. And that was a very long, rambly start. And for that, I am sorry. But let's see here. I want to build this in, like I said, a small grid fashion, but using large grid. So I guess first I should turn on my shipyard welders, I think, are what's going to be needed to build up that bit of stuff underneath here, where I fixed all of my connector issues. They actually might be too far forward because of how big the lip screw is and where I need those for printing that. So let me check my build and repairs from the base itself. Do they reach far enough? So area, they reach right up to there. So go back to the station. Let's have those on for now anyway, because they'll get part of it done. Go shipyard, because we have the shipyard welders. So their area, I will have to move this back to build the other thing anyway. And you see it's all just jet black in here. That's because there's so many areas overlapping with the 6 of those that it just becomes jet black. It was really hard to figure out how to aim this, but I finally wound up getting it. Just let me turn off these other ones. At least their range. Don't need to see their range anymore. And then go back in here for the shipyard welders. If I can learn how to type, that'd be great. We already have their thing on, so let's just push that back to right there. That way it'll build up these as well. So let's go ahead and turn off that visual, because I want to be able to see, and even with this very bright light inside it, it's just so dark. So that's going to go ahead and build up my connectors that I moved. And I moved that because originally the parking spot was right here. Yeah, right here. So getting in between the two towers would not be easy. Speaking of the two towers, all these are straight armored conveyors into a conveyor block, and then a couple more straight armored conveyors, and a few off the side here, and on the back a small cargo container, so that I have quick access to the entire network to just grab things very quickly if I need to. My goodness, the ticking from those is loud. What are you missing? Construction components. Interior place construction components. Are they not getting their parts? They should be, because they're connected through this one here. Huh. I go ahead and grab that, and that, and I'll get that finished. And this is why I have the large cargo, or the small cargo containers here. Oh, I'm out of interior plates. Amazing. So anything I did pick up isn't needed, because it should have it now. What's your problem? The construction components.
Energy low.
Okay, let me go ahead and check my industrial cargo container. I still have 734,000 iron, 19,000 gold, 1.4 thousand platinum. That's one of the things I need a large grid miner to go and get more of. Again, I could use Kev's teleport mod, the voxel teleport system. It is very nifty. I've seen it in action. It's absolutely amazing. But I like mining and building miners. And the settings that we turned on the server to assist with him doing his teleport stuff, well, they assist us miners as well. Like, I have, let me just search it, be easier. 18.88 kilometers away, big uranium. That is a mark that every time I go there and come back, it brings in just under 500,000 in uranium each load. And that's just for the one particular node there, and that's a shattered asteroid with a few different nodes. That's just the biggest of them all. And it's not even that insane of a node because Kev has one where he's teleporting back like 1,000,000 at a time out of his node. So I'm only doing half that much. It's still keeping things running though. Let's see. In this car, I have 33.6 thousand uranium ingots, and I'm not even using uranium. Well, I wasn't using uranium. Now I am because I'm cranking up everything in the base because I'm getting ready to build. All right, so this works. There is 0 gravity over here. And I've got these put together now. So I can actually finish those. Let's go ahead and do that first. Grab me some steel plates. And all I'm doing here is still currently using my rounded gray because I don't know what color I'm going for anything. And since I have the towers pretty much built this time, I can just run these straight up. Which works out for me. Well, even though it's light armor, with it being light armor and armored conveyors, these should be fairly tough. Mostly, I'm betting on being able to take out the threats before they do too much damage to my guns. Granted, there's no guarantee of that when I'm not online. But I've been putting in an awful lot of playtime on this server. They've got to work really hard to catch me offline. Which is part of the reason why I've slowed down on other things, other videos. I'm just really sucked into doing things here, building all this up, exploring the region and making gas stations, which is what I filmed doing for my last video, of course, episode 8. The vehicle that I'm building today can probably also do that. Honestly, I should build it to where it can do that as well. With potentially... Well, no, it doesn't need any refineries or anything itself. It can just carry the cargo to drop everything down. It'll have build-in repairs on it. Because just like the Everyman, I'm going to make it a general purpose vessel. Whoops. Get to that before the build and repair. Because I don't know if it's the slow one or the fast one working on it. Should be the slow one, actually. Alright, so on the middle ones here, I already have conveyor caps on them because they're too close to put guns on the inside, sadly. And at the same time, it gives me a nice little goal post to fly through. But I don't need the rounded armor anymore, so let's go ahead and grab turrets. Okay, the artillery is on that one up there. I want to flip that and put artillery here. Assault here. Then yeah, I'll just let these face down. That works fine for me because they have lots of stuff underneath that attackers can come from too. So there we go. That is 1/3 of the station's guns up. I just need to get this side over here. Well, going up anyway. What are you missing? It hasn't even gotten there yet. It has no clue what's going on with any of that. Actually, does it go down that low? I just thought about that. All the ticking. I really hope you guys don't hear the ticking anywhere near as loud as I do. You shouldn't, but there's no guarantees. Okay, so what are you out of then? Oh, I don't need to do that. I'm right here at a connector. Because you can certainly reach that. Must be out of something. How about I look at you individually? Why are you trying to build things inside too? Your range should not be allowing you to do that. Let's go 4 to show the range again. It is trying to build up things in here. I don't want that. Don't want that at all. Hide those. That's what's happening to all of my parts. I believe that's the, nope, not the horizontal. Are you going to listen to me? 0, go. Okay, thank you. Forward. Okay, just like go over there for me. All right. I guess the damage is already done on whatever it put in over here. So let's just go ahead and turn it off and on, cycle it. I guess these will be helping out in the shipyard for now. And I need everything, it looks like. Yeah. All right. So here's how I handle this. I'm going to go ahead and queue up everything I'll need. Yeah, there's nothing. What I just gave it so quickly and hungrily ate up. Okay, so let's do 600 of those. 600. Because these will burn through and make really fast in chunks of 600. No, for a fact I'm going to need a lot of those and a lot of these. And queue up a couple thousand of some of these key components. Definitely going to need a lot of superconductors. And let's see, do I have 4,000 gold? Absolutely. Okay, you guys cook off. And I'm going to pause this up. I'll come back when I actually have resources to start the ship. And then we'll get on to what I actually wanted to do this go round. And hopefully all of my guns will be online by then. I do have ammo for all of them, and ammo to spare. And I do still have the safe zone. I'm going to set up an event controller that in the event I'm low on ammo, which means I'm low on magnesium or something needed to make the ammo, it will go ahead and turn on the safe zone. The guns are themselves just barely in the safe zone, I think. The rest of it is out. Like the safe zone doesn't protect that much there. It doesn't really protect that much over here. Don't want to show you the front yet. Here's the guns for this side though. And there'll be more guns coming around through here. And I think starting right around here, this is just going to be platform again and more shipyard. A lot of this shape was because of the bubble, so that might be reshaped, but probably not too much. It's already pretty close to what I need, considering the shape of the building over there. But again, I'm not ready to show yet, but it's a happy accident, and I'm going to try to get somebody to help me make it look even better. But yeah, I'm rambling on again. Let me jump in the cockpit and pause this up. So after about 15 minutes away, I think I've got mostly enough resources to complete what I'm looking at for a ship. I've got the rest of them completing now. Big batteries, big need for superconductors. Actually, speaking of superconductors, really big need for superconductors. So I had a couple more thousand of those. I've got enough gold for it. Silicon, iron, and nickel are also good, so I'm going to queue up another few 1,000 batteries after those. And we can sneak anything else that's required in. Let's see. I've decided I'm going to name this ship the Apollodorus, using the name of Apollodorus of Damascus, which, if you go ahead and look him up, very fascinating architect and engineer from 2nd century AD Rome. Built things like Trajan's Column, Trajan's Baths of Trajan, a lot of other things associated with Trajan, and quite a few other things as well. Brilliant architect and engineer. And let's see. Well, I don't actually want to use the industrial cargo because limited connection points. I'm going to use regulars. Well, that's interesting. This only costs 500 for the Mark IV regular large cargo container superconductors. The industrial costs 1,000. Fascinating. So it also makes things cheaper for me. Sounds wonderful. These are still the same 2,000 as those. So I'll go with the tier 4s. Those should be quite large enough. And I want to use the new purple that I've switched to. More of a violet. Reaper can't tell me that this looks pink. He can look at my backpack and say that's pink. And I won't get down on him because that is as pink as a purple can be and still be considered anywhere near a purple. Okay. Interior plate is why I couldn't build that. Let's grab a chunk of those. So like I said, I'm going to build this more or less in a small grid style. There's not going to be any interior, it's going to be cockpit. That's right, plural. It is a multiplayer, wow, those are loud. It is a multiplayer server. Wow, those are loud everywhere. That's it, I'm turning down that sound. Shipyard welders. The sound volume is way down here. Let's just turn that down to like 14%. I like hearing you work. I don't like hearing only you work. It's completely derailed everything I was thinking. So that's 3.3 million liters per cargo container. Very nice. What are you short on? Interior plates. Oh, because it's taking like almost 3,000 interior plates apiece. All right. That makes sense why you're out of interior plates. I can't even remember what I was trying to say because that sound bugged me so much. Man, those build so fast. yeah, 3.3 million liters of cargo capacity each. So 9.9, may as well call that 10 million liters of cargo. I want to have ejection for stone on it. I do like collecting stone an awful lot, but I don't like collecting as much stone as the drill and fill collect. Oh, that's what I was saying. Multiple cockpits, because it's a multiplayer server. My main cockpit should be able to do everything. In case I'm alone, I should not have to jump out of my seat into another one to work things. But if I have other people with me, I'll have one cockpit additional that works the build and repairs, another cockpit additional that works the drill and fill. I'm also going to put a jump drive on this. It might make obsolete my little craft. It might just wind up being in addition to my little craft. This one works better for being able to set up the gas stations, that's for sure. 2 kilometer distance that it can travel itself before it needs one. From what I've seen, most large ships are doing about 1 or 2 kilometer jumps at a time and are capable of much more range. So every 2 kilometers rest stop, that's not bad at all. I think I'm only going to put one jump drive on this, but it is going to be a really big jump drive. So small steel tubes are the next problem here. Which is one of the reasons why I need so many of the freaking superconductors. So, but right now I need a lot of these coming up right now, so I can just finish these and figure out my next step. I don't need any more of the small cargo. I am going to need conveyors, which they added a new conveyor mod on me, like I had said before, which kind of messes with me. You've got your conveyor junctions here, and then this looks like the junction, but it's just your conveyor tubes. So, took me a minute or 3 to get over that. And I don't know what this little tube is. Let me look at that real quick. Oh. Oh, that's fascinating. I like that. Not terribly expensive. Actually, it's about the same price as doing a bunch of small conveyors out that distance. You know, a conveyor block would take up quite a bit more space than what this does. And that's one of the things that came in with that new mod messing with me. So, not all bad. Actually, I wouldn't say it's bad at all. It just caught me off guard. All right, so it's got that. I think, just like the Everyman, I kind of want side cargoes of a smaller variety. Means I'll probably need all of the same things I just ran out of again. But let's see. Small cargo, Mark 5, too expensive. The Mark 4 small cargo container has the same cost as the Mark 4 large cargo container for superconductors. I think that is an oversight by the mod author to have not made the large Mark 4 cost 1,000 like the large industrial Mark 4. But let's see, I think Mark 3's much cheaper, will actually serve my purposes here pretty well, which is nice line of cargo containers going straight across there from tube to tube. This will give me more connection points overall. Get rid of that before it builds up. and a bit more cargo capacity. Which is why I had no problems rounding up to 10 million, because now it's over 10 million. All right. So that's going to give us overall the basic shape. But then I need some other things placed onto here. Like the drill system, the BNRs. Okay, so I could do 3 of these if I wanted, but honestly, I think 2 is probably going to be fine. The distance they are apart is going to be interesting for getting its area lined up. Let's see, let's go ahead and so this is just a straight conveyor. It just has the one pass through straight through, which is pretty useful because it's nice full block. It's going to be airtight if you use it for such things. I'm not here. And then I want, not a T, a armored X, which the top and bottom have no pass through, the rest of it does. The way I'm going to do this anyway. Now, my choice of cockpits are very slim with bad connection points for the way I just placed that. So let's just remove that. Try again that way. Go back to the cockpit. I would prefer an industrial cockpit, so let's put that on the bottom here. I wanted to bump that out in case I decide to do some decent armor on it. It's going to need a way to dock. It's going to need power. So batteries, I think going for the Mark Vs is going to be not only my best bet, but pretty much mandatory. So let's see. I want that as my forward facing portion of the battery. And we'll put 4 of these Mark Vs. That should actually be quite a lot of power in and of itself. And these empty slots, I'm thinking about putting in 4 Mark III reactors.
Energy low.
Which would also be quite a bit of additional power. The Mark V batteries, though, those are almost positive going to be necessary for the single Mark V jump drive, which I should get that placed on there, despite not having anywhere near enough of the superconductors for that yet, I'm sure. Let me look over here. Where are we at on production? Yeah, it's making more of them. I actually should have had enough to get these batteries pretty much completed. Nope, construction components killed it. And superconductors, or no, computers. And over here, construction components. Okay, construction components and computers is what I need now. Get those queued up ahead of the other things. computers, construction components. I had made thousands of these construction components already. It's okay. I'll make thousands more. And the one that needed computers should be able to get those really quick. If the build and repair is keeping up with anything. Yeah, it's just construction components and a couple hundred computers, which it should have now. Oh, wrong one. This is the one. Okay, it's got computers, it's got computers. So let's switch that over to the If things would stop getting laggy, that would be great. Why do you keep grabbing that? I am grabbing, obviously, the construction components. Move the correct thing, please. Jump drive. And then I'm going to pause up until this jump drive is complete. Oh man, this thing is massive. I always forget how big jump drives are until I go to place one. So I will have to disconnect this vessel from all of this. Everything that's red here is meant to be just ground out and deleted. I want my batteries. That one, that one. That one. Where's my other Mark V? I guess it's that. And it's just not telling me that it's not built yet. I want all these on recharge. All right. It's working on getting this done. Like I said, I'm going to pause up until I've got that particular large part built, because that's a very big piece of this ship. And then I'll come back and finish up the rest of this. All right, so I had to run off and go mine some silver, and by the time I got back, not only was this built, it was fully charged. So the jump drive, good to go. Check. Building repairs. See, these are tricky because I want them close to each other and facing the exact same way. But the way I'm building the ship, it kind of makes me want to put one here, one there. But unlike the drill and fill, I actually want to control the area more. Maybe if I did it as two groups, and we'll set these all facing the same direction. And even though we're doing two different groups, we'll do them in the same location, because then at least I can put the two groups in the same place easily. All right. So there's my building repairs. Already we can see the ship's going to be pretty tall. That's what, full block space up on that? Yeah. And that's if I'm not even covering it with a roof. I'll have to figure out the armor. I will not take this ship too far until the armor is on there. I probably will take it for a quick test at the end of this episode while it's still bare. because even bare it'll be able to work, because that's going to count its thrusters and its Mark V warfare reactors, which is what I'm going to put in now. So we've got the batteries here. Part of me wants to have these facing up, so I think I will. And I'll do 2 on each side, right behind the batteries. Now, because I'm doing this as a pretty small, large grid ship, it's going to have plenty of power. I'm not worried about power. I am worried about thrusters and how those are going to affect what power I have, but I'm not overall worried about power, especially with 4 Mark V reactors. I have 1 Mark IV running this entire base when the solar isn't doing it. My backup batteries have not turned on in over a week on just 1 Mark IV. So this is overkill on power. Speaking of, let's go ahead and look at our thrusters. Let's just look at the upmarked ones. So we've got warfare ions and regular ions. I think the warfare looks sleeker. So let's look at those. That's an absolute monstrosity of thruster components for the Mark V, and this is just small thrusters. The large ones are insane. I'll stick to smalls. But let's go ahead and see if we can push it with Mark IVs. We're only operating in space. Maybe that'll be enough. So we'll start out with our drive thrust, which I kind of want to base off of the jump drive. And that'll help them to be more hidden inside armor. Oh really? I can't put it there unless I continue straight down. Well, how about we'll do a couple more on the outside here. On the front, I want to leave that top open because I think I'm going to have 3 turrets on this baby. A big grid running around hauling things, I'm not going to have it unarmed. So there's my driving and brake thrust. Well, I do need 1 more brake on each side at least. So let's go ahead and throw this up on top here. For the time being, we'll just use conveyor junctions where I want turrets to raise those up. Actually, I think let's go ahead and bump these up 1 more because of the thrusters there. I'm going to want armor over that. And that will allow me to come across with armor. It's trying to keep up with my demands. The shipyard welders are doing great. Okay, so we've got forward and reverse thrusters. Let's go ahead and get a couple of side-to-sides in. If I don't get hung up on everything. And then we'll need to do up and down. Alright, so it was right behind this and underneath it. on the other side here, right behind the BNRs. Whoa, right behind the BNRs and underneath those. So there's the sides. Up and down thrusters are a little bit more difficult, but fortunately less space for them. So this is just bare bones thrust for the moment. We'll put this on top of the battery. And then the other thing I want to put here is a connector right on the nose. Actually, yeah, let's make this the main dock, and therefore no sorter, we'll leave that free. Because other than this connector, which I can go ahead and just name for myself with build vision, hold control, scroll wheel, hit enter, connector, nose, main, and escaping out is a bad idea. Right click out instead, but I always escape even knowing that. The reason why I wanted to leave all these open over here is I want to be able to get rid of stone, and I want to be able to get rid of it quickly. So let's just grab some conveyor sorters. All of these facing downward with connectors. And do the same thing on the other side. 4 sorters, 4 connectors. And then I need to see what I'm missing for all the things. I bet it's something basic. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and pause this up. We see what blocks are being placed here thus far. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more. Well, one of these I'm going to wait until later. I'm not going to do an antenna yet. That's probably going to go on the outer hull. I will, however, go ahead and build myself right here in the back. Somewhere, yeah, right in the middle. An ore detector. Because I want it capable of doing everything. Now, where it's not going to be making the Voyager 3 obsolete is the Voyager 3 can go down to a planet. So what I might do is, by the time this hits final version, the Apollodorus here, which I'll go ahead and jump in and name that. And I forgot how to spell it. Yeah, I was going to do 2 P's. It's not 2 P's. 2 L's. Apollodorus. Actually, let's go. This is the SF11 Apollodorus. I am very, very bad at spelling, so I'm glad I checked that. In any case, I'm going to look at what all I'm missing to get this all done. I still haven't put gyros on or the guns that I want. I still have a few slots around here where I can put some of that stuff. I'll figure it out. Anyway, back in a second for you and probably an hour for me. So, as I suspected, I have a shortage of a very needed resource, but that's all right. I have already sourced a very large asteroid of said resource. But I kind of want to show off the termite here a little bit, changes I've made to it, how it runs now, and improvements I want to make with the Apollodorus over the little termite here. So on the very back of the ship, you see that red dot thin device. That's from the small blocks mod. It's a gravity generator. I was having problems with my single ejection unit down below for stone getting clogged up because it just was hanging out. Not very helpful at all. Get this lined up. So okay, that should not be drawing out flat. Is that flat? That's silk. Why are you throwing out silk? Why was there still silk here? Anyway, without the gravity generator, that hole gets clogged anytime there's stone being ejected, and it keeps it from ejecting anymore. So I wind up taking back more stone than I want with the gravity generator on instead of the ore kind of hanging out underneath me like it was there. It just keeps going, and I would feel sorry for anyone driving below me while I'm ejecting ore because they're just going to die a death of a million tiny stones until they get out of the way. So because of the one ejection system and how inefficient that is, that's why I'm going for 8 on the Apollodorus to eject things. I am going to put a gravity generator on there, just like on here, for the exact same reason. I don't want the ejections getting clogged up and keeping me from getting rid of things. I am using a single long-range light to be able to light up my area. Those long-range lights are insane, but they're actually great for people who are recording videos because YouTube makes everything way darker. And anything and everything to help you with brightness. That, and I keep getting stuck mining on the dark sides of asteroids. Anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling, pause this up, get all this platinum back home, and get it processing. This takes a little while in those two refineries, despite how fast they are. So I'll bring it back once I've got that bare bones thing running. Alright, so I have the bare bones of this thing put together now. Last group I need to do is the gyros that I almost forgot, which would have been hilarious, but not so much. This is a very expensive ship, and it's 65% complete, give or take. Like, not even all of my gyros are done. All of the ones on the bottom are undone. But she flies. All of my thrusters that I've put on here for the test are on and functional. And let's see. The thing I'm running most short on right now is gold. So first and foremost, let's test maximum speed. .92. Wrong button. Let's go for brake thrust. Toggle on off. Just turn that off. We saw what our max speed is. I'm going to cruise for a moment while I set up my hotbar. Go to my groups. Battery power charge recharge. Gyroscopes on off. Thrusters on off. I already have the brakes. Drills on off. I'll do another page for the rest of that. Let's see. Another page for the stone pullers and stone throwers. So now I just need ore detector. And I threw also a temporary antenna on here. It's useful to me, and it also lets me, while broadcasting, show the name, which I like to do. Alright, so on page 2, let's go ahead and go faster. This asteroid is a ways off. Let's see what my max cruising speed is. My ore detector reaches out to 1,800 meters, so that'll be a pretty decent warning device. Alright, so page 2, I want my reactors on number 9 on and off. Right now I have them turned on. I'm not running on battery power just yet. I want the drills on off. Drills show area on off. And I'll do the rest out of the inventory, or the control panel. Why am I not thinking well? It could be because it's almost 6 in the morning and I've been up all night. It's been a very, very long night. So I want show area on off on, let's see, that was the port, so also the starboard DNRs. So that way I can just pop that on and look at it. The more they overlap, the more black it gets, and the harder it is to see anything, especially in dark space. Oh, speaking of dark space, I don't have any construction components on me, which is sad. It would only have taken 2. I do have some I could steal, and then I could put a light right there on the O2H2 generators I slapped up front. Alright, how's our braking force? Well, it's empty pretty good. But therein lies the problem. This is empty right now, and it doesn't have the proper thruster load that I want for this. But it should, if I'm taking it slow, allow me to get everything I need to get the infrastructure up and running at the base to be able to finish this and start work on the printing of my nice lip screw. Alright, let's hit the brakes. I'm gonna have to steal some construction components. Do not jump in front of your thrusters. It's always a very painful thing to do. Always. Ouch. Okay, long range interior light, slap you down. You know what, let's just some of you BNRs handle that. Oh wait, it's not going to prioritize it right. I stole those parts. I should think things through better. Oh no, I did prioritize it right. Okay. You can have it back then. And long range interior light. Change to LR light. SF11. And let's give that a radius 200. Alright, so that's the iron. That's not what I'm wanting. Caddy corner this down some. I don't think I'm going to fit in there. So I guess here I go to page 3. Blocks gravity, which is still turned on at this time. I put it on but didn't turn it off. And then I need groups. Stone pullers on and off. They're already on. And stone throwers. Where's the throw? Throw out, on, off. So that's all the connectors down the side, all 8 of them. Let's go ahead and aim over here at this. Go back to here and see my drills already. We're off to a bad start. So let's grab the drills group. And move those forward. Okay. I've got to be really careful there. How forward do I want it? Not that forward. Okay, so back to drills group. Get a better viewpoint on it here. And let's try 60. How's that? My drills are already pretty forward, so 50 should work. But let's try 45 first. Yeah, I like 45. Now, what's the depth on those? How much stone am I going to grab before I get area depth of 75 meters? So 3 times the depth of the small grid. I'm alright with that, but let's go ahead and bring the height down to 45 and the width to 45. Now it's actually wider than 45 because they're staggered. I can get those lined up, but every time I move the offset again, it's going to screw them all up. So just take that into account with these things when using them. So I'm not entirely sure I'll be able to get to the depth of where the gold is. But we can try. Drills on. Are 2 of these enough, or am I going to need more? It's definitely clocking some stone. The connectors are all filling up. Where's my cargo? None of it's going into the cargo yet, because it's all stone. So yeah, even here, bad place for gold. So not going to work out for me in any kind of speed at all, but we do get to see the ship in motion. And let's go ahead and get rid of all this stone. I don't want it. I want what's behind the stone. Oh, that ejects so quickly. I really feel sorry for anybody flying below me now. Almost 10 times the hail of stone bullets. But anyway, if you enjoyed watching what I did today, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you want to see what I do, get up to later, there's always the subscribe button. Until next time, have a good one.